In the immortal words of some dude with a bandana, Captain Grimm, Captain Grimm, what'd you do now?
Guys, how do I get to Ironforge?
That is the freaking cadaverous chest piece right over there, straight out of Scholomance. That's one of my favorite leather pieces of like all of WoW.
Looking for healer for stockades?
Oh, I'll join you.
Uh-huh.
Dude, let's go Cap Court and Strangle Thorn.
Yeah, let's go.
These people just trying to have a good time. And Asmongold and a bunch of assholes probably brought this dude to Stormwind.
Finally. Man, this new game's been great. I can't wait to quest in Darkshore next.
There's no... Well, that's a vibe check. I was gonna say, ain't shit to do with Dark Sword Classic. Hi!
6th of March, 2005. The day Lord Kazzak was kited and pulled to the city of Stormwind.
Yeah!
Marking one of
And he Shadow Bolt volleyed everybody!
the most notorious World of Warcraft events that created its own tradition. Kazzak's invasion wiped out countless of players' lives.
Yep.
And left the Alliance capital of Stormwind in ruins.
Hey, y'all, let me know in the comments or in the chat over here, like Khan. Were you there when this happened?
Which would usually be players' safest location to reside in. The day started out as any other. Low levels were running back to the city to learn their new spells. The auction house was bustling, and raiders were setting up for another all-nighter. Everything was ordinary.
Wait.
Apart.
All weaker, all right. It was old school raiding. This shit took like a week. Maybe. If like, you know, the raid was generous.
From a thought that entered the mind of one or several scheming players. What if I pull something very dangerous to the Alliance to mess with them? But before we get into that, ad time. Are you tired of playing games you used to love but now have become a total mess and you keep asking yourself where it all went wrong? Well, I have one question for you.
Wait, what'd you ask?
But before we get into that...
Wait, what'd he ask?
Are you tired of playing games you used to love but now have become a total mess and you keep asking yourself where it all went wrong? Well,
Damn. Damn. One for me. And one for WoW Retail. Damn, tell you what. Shit.
well, I have one question for you. Do you guys not have phones? Because
You motherfucker! You son of a bitch! I hate you! I hate you! I love you!
Drag you out of your pit of despair. Raid celebrated its 4th anniversary just last month. Theme of the celebration is dinner party, and Raid asked me which champions I would invite. So I have to go with Cephalia, a useful support who can always be on hand in case someone gets a boo-boo. And you know I gotta bring in Dulcea, the ice queen, along. Keep the drinks nice and chill. Can't forget about Bistofus. He'll be able to both cut up and cook the meats at the grill at the same time with his flaming blades. Finally, I gotta bring in Gintoro, who's all about prolonged encounters. He'll be perfect for keeping the celebration going all night long. But there's more! Live Arena PvP will be coming in Raid's newest update with a pick Rampage where you go up against others for lots of amazing rewards. Use my QR code or the link in the description and receive Kellen the Shriek. Download Raid Shadow Legends right now!
Damn!
Now back to Kazzak's invasion. How did it happen? This method of messing with other players wasn't exactly unheard of. The term training was popularized in EverQuest, where mobs could follow you forever after...
Look at freaking EverQuest, dude. Look at that! Look at that, man. Freaking EverQuest. Looked like shit then, looks like shit now. Yeah, I said it. It was hard as hell, and it was hardcore as hell, and there's stuff in that game that I'm so glad they don't do anymore. Thank God.
You could pull them, as they followed close behind, similar to train wagons. People used this technique to grief other players that thought they were otherwise safe from harm.
Yeah.
So, over at WoW, players back then also noticed that creatures could technically chase after you forever as well. And a very good class for this would be a... Hunter.
Yeah.
Of course. The root
course,
of all
it's a
of
damn
Asgard's
hunter.
problems, I guess.
Of course it
Or
is.
any range class, preferably, as you would have to always stay within a certain range of the creature and not run too far away from its radius,
Yep.
and you had to continuously damage it every now and then to retain
Yep.
aggro. Usually people would apply this tactic in order to kite out strong foes and eventually slay them. But what if this was applied to something much more dangerous with malicious intent? And this is where Kazzak comes
This
in.
asshole.
He was a pretty important guy lore-wise, as he was tasked to secure the blasted lands for the Legion, primarily occupying the Tainted Scar. And eventually
We could have gotten EQ next. Nah.
was tasked to secure the blasted lands for the Legion, primarily occupying the Tainted Scar, and eventually would be the one to reopen the Dark Portal, thus beginning the Burning Crusade expansion.
Good job,
Gameplay-wise, he
Kazzak.
was one of the few world bosses which were powerful elites that, although had the strength of instant raid bosses, could be instead low.
Look at that ugly ass old blue dragon model. Ah! Look at it. Ah! That's ugly as shit. Look at that. Look at that big old goofy grin.
Located in the open world. Kazzak himself, though, was seen as fairly
There's a
simple by
charm to
players
it.
back then. His melee attacks weren't too strong, and neither were his spells really.
Neither were his spells really long. Yeah, you say that. You say that. You say that. Until this shit happens right here. Mark of Kazzak. Ah. Oh my god. Drains all their mana, and then if they run out of mana, they just blow up.
For coordinated then, his melee attacks weren't too strong, and neither were his spells really. For coordinated high-level groups,
Say that.
it was a pretty straightforward
True.
experience. Essentially, most of the action Kazzak would face is him getting pushed around and bullied by raiders for his
True.
item drops. They laughed at him, but he never forgot. His rage would continue boiling within him, in anticipation to exact his eventual revenge. The mastermind orchestrators knew that. They saw Kazzak's
Oh,
potential,
Jesus.
and they considered his potency in an
This is canon.
environment full of level 15s in their Westfall leveling gear, along with some random, constantly respawning NPCs. Thus, they appeared before him on that fateful day, and would begin their operation. They attacked Kazzak to draw his attention, and without delay, he would begin his relentless pursuit.
And then they
The
ran
group then
like
slowly
hell.
began making their way to their destination of Stormwind, as they would have to make their way out of Blasted Lands, into Swamp of Sorrows, through Deadwind Pass,
Yup.
into Duskwood,
Yup.
and finally into Eowyn Forest.
It was a
Those
trip.
traveling in these areas may have been able to spot the enormous demon making its way to Stormwind, but could only watch as Kazzak finally made his first step in the Alliance capital. And thus, his rampage would begin. But there were good reasons as to why Kazzak specifically was by far the most dangerous boss to be pulled to Stormwind in this situation. Again, for a coordinated high-level group, he may have posed marginal threat, but if we take a look at his abilities again, we can begin seeing the concerns as
Right here. Right here. That move right there. Specifically that move. If he got pulled into the city, it didn't matter what level the target was when he killed it. It just says if a nearby enemy target dies, he gains 70k health back. If he got pulled to the city, he became unkillable.
with, for example, his ability to heal for 70,000 health whenever someone around him died. And not only that, but he also had Shadow Bolt Volley.
That damn
which hit
thing!
every target in a massive range around him with a
Look at him.
projectile. And it would also pass through terrain.
Yep.
This would melt anyone who was lacking in levels and gear, and aggro every NPC in the area. Oh, and not only that, he would also enter Supreme Mode 3 minutes after he had been pulled, which would cause him to spam his Shadow Bolt volley every second.
Oh!
Yeah, it goes without saying that by the time he would reach Stormwind, he already would have been enraged for quite a while.
Yeah.
Due to Kazzak's constant healing, players quickly realized their efforts to attack him would amount to nothing.
Nah.
As he began his destruction through the
It
city.
didn't matter.
It wasn't only the low-geared players constantly healing him up due to them getting obliterated
Yep.
in mere seconds. It was also the constantly respawning rabid guards.
Yep.
Even when facing this world-ending foe, they just couldn't fight their primal instincts of aggroing onto him.
That bloke is being highly illegal. We should probably take him to the
It's being
stocking.
illegal.
Sir, I don't think,
But not yet. He's a bit too far away for me to care. But when he does get a bit closer...
Sir, we really should retreat. I have a family.
Here he comes, boy. Lock him up. Attack!
Yep.
People would attempt to desperately scatter. Those who had just logged in or just arrived at the city would be welcomed by a sea of corpses.
They didn't know
and
what
would
the hell's
soon
going
join
on.
them. Players would also try to desperately pull Kazzak to the throne room in hopes that Bolvar might be able to save them. But that also turned out to be futile.
Nope.
For the most part, Bolvar would just sit there, staring at them.
Bolvar
maybe
didn't do
even enjoying
shit.
it, as Kazzak would litter the
It's kind of iconic. That's well, iconic and ironic. Huh. Bolvar didn't do shit. We foresaw Shadowlands even back in Classic of Bolvar not doing shit.
castle with skeletons. Players could only look on from their ghost forms as the unstoppable demon ravaged through Stormwind. But that was when Azeroth's final line of defense would be summoned.
The
Maybe in one
GMs.
of the expansions there could be this big bald guy and
Hey, don't you have pending player tickets?
what?
Oh shit!
Oh. Guess I'll log in and check what's up.
Alright.
Oh, you're not supposed to be here.
You're not supposed to be here! Slash kill! Oh!
And thus,
Oh!
Lord Kazzak was vanquished and returned back to the Tainted Scar.
Oh,
The
you're
players
not supposed to be
reflected
here.
on this horrible tragedy that had befallen them that day.
That was awesome! Yo, what the hell? That was amazing!
Yeah, let's pull him again! What?
Let's pull him again! What the shit?
That was awesome! Yo, what the hell? That was amazing!
Yeah, let's pull him again! What? And naturally decided to keep recreating it. History was made, and the tradition of pulling creatures to player hubs had been born. People would now continue to pull everything.
Oh shit, I remember this! I remember this one! I was there for that one!
They were able to various popular locations.
Looking for more for a Zergos.
Hey, Zergos is right here.
Oh, that's nice. Wait, what?
Wait, what?
What in oblivion is that?
At least this time,
Oh my
players
God.
coordinated and worked together to bring some of these foes down.
They had to get they had to get a GM to despawn him, to kill him, basically. Yeah, they had to, because all the players kept respawning in Stormwind or rezzing in Stormwind, and the guard NPCs infinitely respawn there when you kill them. So Kazzak never ran out of targets to kill, and every time he killed something, he regened 7k. He was unkillable.
Players would have their fun pulling world bosses to various places until eventually Blizzard would implement a patch which made it so these world bosses were leashed to their respective areas. Meaning they could no longer be pulled outside of them. Later down the line,
Boo! Blizzard and the fun police. Yeah. I mean, I get it. Bastards.
during the TBC Dark Portal Opens event, lore-wise, Mr. Kazzak will leave to be a nuisance over at Hellfire Peninsula, in Outlands, and in his place he appointed High Lord Cruel, who, gameplay-wise and look-wise, was basically the same as him, and he would randomly decide to pay a visit to various places across Azeroth and wreak havoc upon anyone unfortunate enough to find themselves in his path. This was clearly an event that paid an homage to the Kazzak incident.
That
as
was
in
cool.
this example, he was just spawned out of thin air in front of Orgrimmar.
right in front of
and
Orgrimmar.
thus invading it. They can't let the Alliance be the only ones getting obliterated, right? Then, much later down the line, as many of you know, we had World of Warcraft Classic, which released on patch 1.12. That was sadly a patch where Kazzak and other world bosses had now been leashed to their areas, so it meant players couldn't recreate the exact same chaos as before. But, of course, there were still some pretty good alternatives, and players are pretty stubborn. The most popular had to be Teramis the Devourer.
There he is. There he is. Asmongold, you motherfucker.
Again, located in the Blasted Lands. Even though he wasn't nearly as powerful as Kazzak, his AoE ability still made him quite the threat, especially early on in Classic where people were rushing to pull him. Regardless, Kazzak's invasion left its mark on WoW's history.
Yes, it
It's
did.
one of the deadliest incidents to ever unfold. I mean, this guy alone was infinitely more potent than the whole Legion forces in the Legion expansion.
Yeah!
Those guys were so bad at invading that by the end of it, we ended up invading them back.
Yeah!
And this guy over here just wiped out the Alliance in a single day. Go figure. With that,
You know, if you think about it, the Legion are a bunch of dumbasses. They should have just dropped Kazzak right in the middle of Stormwind and that'd have been it, you know? I mean, really, the Legion are a bunch of dumbasses.
players would continue living on happily ever after, knowing that no other horrible and unforeseen tragedy could possibly befall them once again.
Ah!